My name's Willow. Welcome to the Distorted Transmission for today. Highly radioactive, sci-fi inspired music for the whole family. That short statement defines a Wellington band, Planet Hunter. How are you?
Very well.
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
We'll start off with the intros. Maybe we'll start with Cormac, I guess. Can you introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, please?
Hi, I'm Cormac. I'm the lead vocalist for Planet Hunter, and I dance and also play the guitar sometimes. So yeah.
My name's William, and I play guitar in Planet Hunter.
Hi, I'm Dave. I play the drums.
And who's missing today?
Jediah is missing. He plays bass.
Okay.
He's busy.
Is he? He's got a life.
That's what his lawyer said.
Next thing is band history. Who would like to fill me in on when the band began, how long this lineup's been around, that kind of thing?
Jed and I, the bassist, started jamming 2017-ish, and we jammed with a few drummers, Cormac included, and then Dave got back from his overseas trip. We asked him to join. He joined. 5 months later, we had 5 songs and no singer. Cormac joined. And we've been that band ever since.
So, Dave, where were you overseas, man? Where'd you go?
I was gone for a few years. I was doing a lot of cycling through Asia and motorbiking through Asia. So,
okay, well, that's interesting too. Speaking of interesting, Cormac, behind you, there's like an eye thing hanging up. It's some sort of interesting headgear. I've noticed that people wear that on stage. Is that something that we should be concerned about, or is it just a passing phase?
Well, people seem to like it, so I was willing to retire it at one point, but people keep asking for it. So, but this one here is actually the prototype. I've worn this for about 3 shows in the beginning. It's pretty huge. And since then, I made Mark II, which is a lot smaller and more movable and performable, and which is the one that I wear now. But yeah, so there's no risk of this one coming back. It's just pretty cumbersome.
I suppose if it gets too much smaller, it may asphyxiate you during the show.
This one's like paper mache, but the new one's like made out of material, so it's completely breathable.
semi-breathable, I'd say.
Yeah. If you're playing the drums, it's
Yeah. Dave wore it once at a gig, and he probably won't do it again.
Okay, cool. You released a 4-track self-titled EP late 2019, and then in September 2022, you released your debut album, Moscovium. Tell me about the process, where you recorded it, your songwriting process, etc. Who can fill me in on that?
The songwriting process is quite long and arduous jamming style. So the other 3, they do a lot of jamming, and they come up with riffs. And then I come along and come up with lyrics and melodies, and then we all sort of just put it together. And then right before we record, that's when we decide that we actually want to make it different, and then we change it right before we push record. And we record it in I've got a studio here at my house. It's in a converted 20-foot shipping container. And that's where we have done all our tracking so far. And then we get other people to mix it and master it.
Do you track drums in there as well?
Yeah.
You must have some kind of baffling or...
Yeah, it's been converted, so it's got like inner walls and stuff. It's got proper insulation and jibbing and all that stuff.
I guess for drums, you'd probably use a lot of close mics.
Lots of close mics, a few ones far away. I've got like little isolation booths that we can lock the guitar cabs into while we're tracking.
Do you kind of track live?
Yeah, so usually we track the bass and the guitar and the drums together, but the guitar we usually don't include that in the final mix. That's usually...
Yeah, I'll do it later.
Did you actually like study sound engineering at all, or?
No, I've just been interested in this sort of stuff since I was, quite young. But William is actually a sound engineer.
Yeah, that's true. I am, but I didn't study it either. I've just worked at in the radio industry for 15 years or so. So I've picked up things along the way as well. So between the two of us, mainly Cormac, we kind of get it done.
Sounds like you love your job, the way you sighed then.
You always remember how long you're at a place, and you go, oh shit, that's right. But it's all good.
Do you actually sort of weigh in on the sort of mixing and mastering side of things?
We all do. We all have a pretty strong opinion on what we want to hear. So we'll get mixes back, and then we'll go, there's not enough bass, there's too much guitar, things like that, and mainly those two things. And we we just sort of all, I think we all have a pretty solid idea of what we want to sound like. It just takes a while sometimes to get everyone's thoughts aligned, if you know what I mean.
Cool. Okay, so there was a sort of a companion artwork book that came with it. What can you tell me about that? Somebody in the band drew the art, I believe.
That was me. I drew the booklet. So the theme behind the album was it's called Moscovium, and what it's sort of harking to is the folklore behind Area 51 and S04, Bob Lazar. I don't know if you know much about any of that stuff, but essentially back in the 1980s, he came out and he claimed that he worked at S4 in the Nevada desert, and that they were trying to figure out how to retroactively recreate alien craft, which they had recovered, and it was powered by a really heavy element which hadn't been discovered yet, called
Wasn't it Ethereum 119 or something, 114 or? I believe it was.
115 Moscovium, and then it was I think in Russia, which is why it's called Moscovium. They synthesized it in a like a hadron collider or something like that, in a particle collider. So that's kind of the idea of the theme of the album, and the booklet I made. It's all lino cuts. It's all hand printed, and it just depicts an alternative history of the human species going back to our beginnings. So it starts with something crashing on Earth, humans discovering something, and it leads to our evolution of culture and technology to where we are now.
Kind of like a sort of a 2001 concept, I
yeah.
suppose. Yeah. You were selling some of those prints as well. Do you still have some of those prints for sale?
Yeah, they're on our website. They're just $30, and they're all hand printed, and they come with a download code. And but we do have like little mini booklets that aren't hand printed that we give out at gigs, so people can look at them as well if they want to listen to it on listen along to it on Spotify.
All right, so you've got a gig coming up in January. I think this interview will probably drop early January, so maybe we can use this time to sort of reveal more about it. Dave's been pretty quiet. Do you know about the show in January?
I was late to this interview because I was trying to make the poster and I lost track of time. So I'm halfway through the poster. That's kind of where we're at with that.
Okay.
Will's been arranging the bands.
They are Big Pharma and Jilter of Kilter.
Okay.
Big Pharma, I saw them. When did I see them first? Ages ago, randomly at Valhalla, and they reminded me of Shellac a lot. And at the drive-in, they just reminded me of those two bands, and I went, "This is cool." And then I just kept an eye on them. And Jilter of Kilter, punky, post-punk. I don't know, genres confuse me, but high energy and a shitload of fun. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be cool.
When and where is this show?
Oh, good question. 20th of January at Moon Bar in Newtown.
It's the first time we've played at Moon.
Yeah, which is really embarrassing because we're called Planet Hunter. So, you know.
Is the moon a planet?
No, but you know what I mean? It's like, surely before you hunt planets, you find a few moons.
Start out blowing up asteroids and you move on to moons, then to planets.
Yeah, exactly. Gradual.
What's the plans for 2023? Have you got more music to release?
We do. We got to record it first. First, we'll demo it in the crate with Cormac.
There is one song which, if this interview but next year, maybe we can talk about it. But it's from the Moscovian session, and we didn't release it with the album. But I don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to make a little video or something, and then release that on New Year's, or
like a single.
If we say something here, we have to do it. That's
Commitment. What a pain in the ass.
We'll do something. and it will be cool, and you'll like it.
There's potentially a single, If You Can Be Asked, coming out at some point soon.
Yeah.
And then you've got plans to record something a bit more.
Record more stuff. We've got 2 new songs that we've been road testing, and they're coming together very well. And maybe one other, maybe 2. I reckon we could probably throw together 4 songs early, mid-year next year. At least at a demo stage, and then we'll look at getting it recorded.
Lastly, I always ask bands, is there anything else to add?
Yeah, I'd love to just take the opportunity to thank everyone that has purchased and downloaded our album off Bandcamp. That money that people pay us really goes a long way. So that is just so awesome. And to everyone that comes to our shows to make them like really awesome. We just want to put on the best show for everyone that comes and attends our shows. We just love when everyone has a really good time.
I'd like to echo what he said as well, for obvious reasons. All of the above. Plus, we'll have more new music in the next 8 or 9 months, because we're beavering away trying to get some stuff done, and look forward to sharing it with you.
Sweet. Dave?
You may have noticed behind Cormac, hanging on the wall, is a T-shirt. We're going to hide one of those T-shirts somewhere in Wellington City and release a series of clues on Facebook as to where that might be. And then, whoever finds it, they get to keep it or give it to whoever they want.
Or they could leave it there, but we'd like them to keep it. We don't really want to litter. So
what happens if it's the wrong size for the person?
Maybe it could be a voucher and a tube.
That'd be smarter. Yeah, because if you've got different size shirts, they can find the voucher. And I mean, if a voucher gets destroyed, it's no big thing.
Get a little waterproof tube, stick a little voucher in it. A bit of a time capsule. Not a time capsule. What are they called? Geocache.
Cool, guys. Well, thanks very much for having a chat with me tonight, and I look forward to hearing your new music. I've been enjoying your previous album, Moscovium, today. It was really good.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Cool. And thanks for watching.